Continuing on from the last video, you now have your character. Great! You're ready to LARP. Or you could be, but first need a costume. That's easy, you think. But is it really? In LARP, a costume isn't just a costume. It is your clothing, your armour, and a huge part of your character. It is part of the essence of LARP, so it is worth thinking about carefully. It's easy just to throw on a tunic and some suitable trousers and be ready to go out into battle. But sometimes that can look a little lackluster. One piece of advice I like to stress about LARP costume is to not think about it as a costume. Would you just wander out to a fancy medieval shopping district to meet with some fancy friends in just your bare tunic? Or would you not wear robes to a magical ritual? You probably wouldn't just wear bare bones to a fancy dinner, so why would you not wear your robes to a magical ritual? Details and layering and all that brings a character to life both rich and poor. There's a good few things to think about when it comes to costume creation. Natural synthetic fabrics, to buy or to make. These questions are generally answered by the kind of LARP you've created your character for. If it is a high fantasy or medieval LARP, synthetic fabrics will stand out and not normally in a good way. With more maybe steampunky and post-apocalyptic LARPs, you can get away with a lot more synthetic fabric. Also, making versus buying. That really depends on your budget and your ability to sew and make things. There are lots of great sources for buying kit, but in some cases, sometimes it looks really manufactured, particularly with the more fantasy and historical LARPs. And also quite often the price of these pieces of clothing are a lot more than you'd pay for a t-shirt in your average shop, so budget is a big factor in whether you buy pre-made or not. One way to look at it is to get a piece of clothing and then customize it to fit in with the LARP you're attending. This is a great way to create something unique, but also without too much effort on your part. For those who are handy, a great way to make a character stand out is needle and thread. I found it increasingly hard to find the correct kind of fabric on high street shops, but I have found a few great sources online that do the right kind of fabric if you're looking for wools and brocades or linens. Links in the doobly-doo. So now we have some basic bits. Let's learn how to turn a costume into clothes. You get your basics. They look good, but it's a little bare. Layers really flesh things out and bring something to life in any LARP game. To refine this further, get some accessories. These help complete a character and bring forward bits of backstory and give clues to other players of what sort of character you are. Here's another example. Maybe one more. You get the idea? Layer up and accessorize to turn your character into a real person. So go out there and have fun making a costume because it is some of the funnest stuff you can do. I'm addicted to it. See you next time with LARP weaponry. I'm not an expert on this, but I'll tell you what I know.